What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Smitty's. You actually caught me in the middle of a project. As you can see behind me, I'm actually at Lowe's. I'm gonna grab some stuff and then I'll fill you in on what I've been doing. Let's get to it. Another great thing about 4Runners, one is the rear window rolls down, and two, all the amount of storage you have in there. All right, so what we got going on here. As you may have seen when I took it out of the vehicle, I started making a box. Two sides. I'm pretty sure you've seen this platform in a lot of vehicles, but mine's gonna be just a tad bit different. This very top portion is just gonna be the platform, and then down there when I'm finished cutting the wood, it's gonna be a butterfly. So this side will open up and then this side will open up. That way I have two separate cubbies on that side. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you the process of how I got here. Yeah, stick around. All right, so I wanted to show you from the very beginning how I do it. I take out all the seats. As you can see, I have another video showing you how to do it. If I remember, I'll put it up in this corner. All right, so how I started this is I put one piece of wood right here, drilled one screw through the floor. The same with this side. It used to be a seat mount bolt right there. It takes a lot of measuring if you want to do it, but you can just drill straight through it. And then if you saw my last video, I put two 2x2s side by side. I basically just left that from my last build, and I put one piece of board here, like 6 inches or so. That way it'll level it for the front half. Then how I built these, I used pieces from my last build. That's from my last build. The bottom there is from my last build. So what I did with this back piece right here is I cut this piece out right here and I put little teeny legs on it. So 4 legs, evenly spaced, basically the height of this. So when you put the wood down, I put 4 little legs to level it out based on how high that is. And also you got to account for the carpet. Don't forget about the carpet. Then after that, I put some reflectix on the bottom to give me a little barrier for in the cold. After I did that, I basically just made a U and another center support. All right, so usually in all my videos you hear me say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. There's a reason for that. I use very minimal tools. I use a jigsaw, a circular saw, and I got these 2 crappy boxes for a platform to cut the wood. And that's it. That's why I always say that anyone can do this. These pieces of plywood are for the drawers. These are for the support for the front. Let me go ahead and put everything back in and show you step by step. All right, so now that I got the first back piece in, it measures 39 by 42. It's only held in by 2. I drilled right into the floor of the vehicle, right on some other bolts that hold down the seats. The same with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and screw that down and then show you the next step I did. All right, now with this portion in, just imagine another one of these, pretty much exactly, is gonna be right here on this one. Let me go ahead and screw down this and then go ahead and start building out the support for the front. All right, so the supports for the front, basically I'm making another one of these to put right here. Basically just measure the length of this to put it on here, and then from this piece to this piece. So the very first measurement is 41 3/4. Cut that first. All right, so you can see what I did. It doesn't take very much. That's why I said anybody can do what I do. All you need is a tape measure. It's the one from Walmart. I think it was like $3. Sharpie and a level. It came with the kit that came with the tape measure. All you have to do, measure, put it on the end, 41 3/4. I do it again. I make another mark right here. That way I have a mark here and a mark here. Then I take the level, because this is the straightest edge I have, and then just line it up and make a line across. Then you got to cut. Simple as that. Now just set it where you want it. Thinking about like, maybe give it about 2 inches on this side of the board. That way it's not like right on the edge. Now, when you find a spot where you want it here, go ahead and measure from here to your wood. And then go ahead and cut that. And then do that for both sides. All right, so now that you did your test fit and everything looks good, take it all back out, 2, 2, and 2. I'm gonna flip this piece over and then drill this from the bottom. So it's gonna be essentially 2 pieces I can pull out of the 4Runner. If I want, I can remove just this front portion and put the back seats back in and just leave this back portion in at all times. All right. So grab yourself a drill. If you don't have money to buy a drill, you can just do it with a regular screwdriver. It's just going to take you a little bit longer. If you could just borrow a drill from somebody and make this process a whole lot easier. I went to Lowe's and got me some actual wood screws. They're 2.5 inches long. That way it'll go down the wood a little bit. You don't want it too short and then it'll just fall right out. So what I do is I make this flush with this, and I just drill here and I drill here. Make it easier on yourself. Get it started, lay it flat on its face, and just drill 2. Don't drill too far. Just get it started, and then get it started. I like to make it come out just a little bit. That way, when I put the other piece on it, I can like jam it in it. So line it up and then like jam it in it so it holds it by itself. And then screw it in. And then it'll just pull it in by itself. Yep, straight. Throw the rest of the way. I like to flush it in there, so I like to drill it in a little bit past flush. That way you don't feel it. All right, so now that you got this done, next thing is just take this piece of wood out, this one right here, along with this, and then take it to a workbench or the ground or something, and then flip it over so you can actually drill this into this. All right, so after you get it positioned exactly where you want it, just hit it with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That way it'll hold it perfectly in place. Now I'm just going to test the back with the front and see how it turns out. This is the back piece. That makes the box for the drawers. screwed all the way. There we go. All right, so now I got it all just sitting in there to test it. That looks pretty good. That's an old piece from my last build. I had that flooring on it. I'm probably gonna put carpet on this one. As you can also tell, I left a little bit of gap right here. That way this piece could sit up there too, along with this one. This shit's so sticky. All right, what's up? New day, new project. Today I'm going to be making some drawers for the back here. I just bought some drawer slides. They are 36 inches from Amazon. So essentially they're the length of this box minus a little bit, because I wanted to make sure I had a little bit of clearance. And that's another thing you missed. I went ahead and carpeted the front section where I'm gonna have the two cubbies. Turned out really, really well. I didn't film it because I already have a video showing how to do carpeting. If you want to watch, just tune into that video. That was probably about a month ago, maybe 2. And I go in pretty good detail. But as you can see, it's real clean. All right, so first things first is emptying out the drawers. They're 36 inches long. They hold 260 pounds and they were about 50 bucks. So it's not too bad, but it is kind of pricey. All right, so what you want to do is to measure the height, measure the length, and that way you'll get this piece right here. And then the same thing for this, measure the height, measure the length, and you'll have your two sides. Then measure the width here and the height here, and that'll be your front piece and your back piece. Basically what I just did is I just wrote the measurements down that I'm going to be cutting right now, because it'll all be covered in the end. What I'm working with is a 1/2 inch plywood. I don't plan on having that much weight in there, so I don't need 3/4, and I don't want to waste a lot of space. Yeah, let's go ahead and cut it, put it together. All right, so now that you got your first piece cut, this is going to be one of the side pieces to the drawer. I need 4 of them, so just use this template and just measure again the height of what you need, and the height of what you need, and the height of what you need, instead of measuring 50 times. Always verify after you mark it. Just go ahead and get a quick little check and make sure it's still accurate, and just go ahead and cut it. All right, so when you're doing the width of the drawer, take into account the width of your slides. This is 1.5 inches, it's 3/4 of an inch on both of these. So that's the 1.5 inches that I have to take off on the width of the drawer. All right, and how I'm going to be attaching these pieces, because this is 1/2 inch, it breaks and gets brittle really quickly. I went out and got a pocket hole jig. Essentially what it does, it looks like that. Essentially what it does is it puts holes in it for you. That way you don't have to drill straight into the side and then it all crack and come apart because of the plywood. This is 5-ply. And it's just 5 pieces of wood pressed together. That's it. All right, so there you go. That's a portion of the box completed, or not box, drawer. All right, there you have it. Our 3 sides of the drawer with the bottom in. I'm gonna do something different with the faceplate. It's not too bad with just a circular saw. All right, now that you got your drawer made and ready, what you're gonna do now is just drill the drawer into the drawer slides. The best way to do it is do it little by little. So it's even, push down the drawer, have it flush on the end, and then put you some screws in it. Alrighty, so we got the back portion all done, got some drawers built, got it all carpeted and ready to go. Now we got to do this front part. And what we're going to do here, if you can imagine, this side over here and this side over here is going to be 2 separate swing outs. So it's going to open like this, where it hinges right here in the middle. And the same thing with this side, it's going to hinge right here in the middle. And how I'm going to do that, so it's going to be 2 cuts. Cut here and cut here. So it's going to go straight down, essentially making this 3 pieces. And what I'm going to do, I bought these piano hinges, and I'm going to stick the piano hinge here and stick the second piano hinge, if I can find it, right here. Just like that. This center portion is going to be bolted down because this is going to be the anchor point. Because anytime you have opening drawers, if you don't have a center portion to hold it down, it's just going to slide all over the place. All right, so I cut the pieces. As you can see, I carpeted this one. I still have this one to carpet. I'm gonna do that next. But I wanted to show you what I was talking about. So here's the center piece that's gonna be the solid piece that holds these 2 together and also gives it a hinge point. So essentially it's gonna be like this. This side's gonna tilt up and so is this piece. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just screwing the piano hinge. I already did one, as you can see, it's already here. The piano hinge onto this little piece of wood. See it? And then I'm gonna screw this one on this side and then screw this second piece onto that one, so it's like that. Then it just slides right up in here when you're done. Now you gotta do is center it and you'll be done.